What's up, guys? It's Nick here. Today we're going to be installing a new stereo and installing a new stereo in my '99 4Runner and also some new door speakers. So let's get to it. It just has the stock stereo in it. It doesn't have an aux cord, so I had to use this piece of shit right here. It goes into the cassette player or whatever that is, and down here it has a shady little aux cord. It doesn't work all that well. In addition, it doesn't really sound all that great, so we'll see how the new system does. So I went with this system. You can see it's the double tier, so it should look pretty good and it should sound great. As far as the speakers go, I went with the 3-ways. There was a special, so I went ahead and got nicer speakers for just about the same price. So it should sound really good. Here we have an installation kit for the front doors. Apparently, to get these speakers to fit in my car, you have to have these, so I went with that, and same with these to help plug in the front speakers. So let's get to it. Here she is. Looks pretty good. Up front we have a USB port and then the aux cord right here, which is exactly what I wanted. So to start with, and replacing the stock double-din stereo, first you're gonna have to remove this bottom panel right here, and then remove this guy right here, and then work your way around this and get the dash bezel out from around your stereo system. To remove this, all you do is pull it out, and there's a gray tab right here, and that comes right out. And then to remove this, there shouldn't be any screws. I don't know, other cars might be a little bit different, but just start by working your way around the outside. A tool like this works great. If you don't have something like this, bend a screwdriver, figure something out. As you can see, it's just a little bit of light prying around the outside of this. This is now loose. You could probably remove it, but I want to try to just keep it right where it is. Just to simplify things, this doesn't really need to go anywhere. You just have to clear it from these two tabs right here, because this is going to hold in the rest of this. So now, same thing with this. Going to go around the outside here with our tool.
And there we go.
So this is loose. Around back, you're gonna have a couple plugs down here. They're gonna have to come undone. Here, I have this trim removed and over to the side. You have 4 plugs that connect to the top part of it, and then you have a couple down below. Don't need to remove those. Don't have to worry about those. You can just rotate off to the side. To get this to come out, you kind of have to wiggle this a little bit. Go ahead and turn the key a couple clicks. You don't turn the car on, but you have to go at least 2 clicks forward and depress the brake pedal and pull this back. Before you do that though, make sure you pull the e-brake up. I didn't. Car started to roll backwards, freaked out real fast. But so now we're gonna go ahead and start to remove this. And then if you see here, you have 4 10mm bolts. You can use a screwdriver, but I don't want to worry about it. It'll be faster to just use a socket. So we'll go ahead and pull that out and go from there. So now that we have the old one out, we need to move these mounting brackets onto our new system here. It's just a matter of undoing these 4 bolts on both sides, and then move it over here and finding the correct hole pattern that you need. There's several different setups, so they work on multiple different cars. You have to find the right one that fits for you. So I figured out that the bolts that come out of here don't thread into here, so you have to use the bolts that come with it. They supplied just a little pack, so I'm going to go ahead and use those and get this mounting bracket on. Alright, so I made sure that this fit correctly, and the next step is going to be to get the wires ready. So on the stock car behind the stereo, they had 2 plugs right here that plugged in the back of the stereo. However, the common thing for the new aftermarket stereos is that they only have 1 plug, so you can get adapter kits, and both of these are going to plug into here with color-coded wires, and then these wires are going to correspond to the colors on this plug right here, and then this plug is going to go into the back of the stereo. So that's what we're going to do next. Here is the finished result. I also taped them up just to try to keep it somewhat neat. It's still a mess though. It should work out pretty good though. Okay, so now you can see this is plugging into here. These 2 white plugs then are not gonna plug into these. We're gonna remove this right here, and this is the car's stock amplifier. We're gonna remove that, and behind it we'll find 2 plugs just like these, and we're gonna use those. The reason for that being is that the stereo I got has an amplifier in it that's much better than the stock one right here, so we're just gonna go ahead and bypass it and not use these 2 plugs. So I just got this back in here, and I don't quite like how it fits. I don't know if you can see it, but it's farther on this side than it is on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this panel back off and adjust the mounting brackets a little bit to try to get the fitment that I want. So after adjusting some of these brackets, I'm much happier with how it fits. It's equal on both sides. So we're going to finish reinstalling the trim and start on the speakers. So I'm not exactly sure how to get behind this panel. We're going to just go ahead and guess and start peeling it back from this edge and go from there and see what happens. So to start getting this out, I went around the outside here and loosened it up, and then I popped this out. You can just pry with like a small flathead screwdriver or something along those lines, and this pops out. And then go ahead and just remove these 3 clips. Alright, so then to get this off, same deal with this. You just pry around here and pull straight up, and then this comes out. A Phillips screwdriver. We'll get this screw out of here right here. There's going to be 3 screws, 1 in here, 1 right here, and 1 right here. So here we have the door panel off. You can remove this from right here, but I decided not to because it just slips right through the hole in the door panel. Here's the back side. These are all the clips that hold in the bottom side. You have to pop off, and there's the hole that the door handle slid through. So now what we're going to do is take these 3 screws out of this stock speaker and slide one of the new ones in. I got these 4 screws out, and now when I try to take this out, it needed a little bit of persuasion because it was glued pretty heavily around the outside of this, but if you pull on a little bit, it should just come right out, and then you just have 2 little plugs in the back, and that's that. Originally, this speaker is hooked up to this mount right here, and then this is plugged into here. All you have to do is unplug this, and the vehicle comes, well, maybe not. Still maybe not, there we go. The vehicle comes, or the stereo kit comes with one of these adapter kits, and this can plug right into it like that, and then these 2 just go into your speaker. Alright, so I got this screwed in, and there's a little slit right here for these wires to pass underneath. So go ahead and put the back panel back on. Little screwdriver. There you go. Yep, forgot to pull the handle through. Alright, so a couple things on the rear doors. These adapter plates don't remotely work or fit. Figured out how to actually attach this to the speaker, but as far as attaching to the door, it didn't really make sense. I was about to start drilling a couple holes, but then I looked at it and it doesn't even fit in the door insert. So forget about those. These two holes will line up with the speakers, so I'll probably use like a sheet metal screw or something and secure at least one more, and it should sit far enough back in the door so it doesn't interfere with this. So problem solved there. As far as this goes, this section of wires right here and this plug came out of the old door insert that used to be right around here. It used to sit right in here. Pulled that out and I used that, and I clipped that into the original location, and then I just spliced in these. These came with the speakers. The reason I did that was so down the line I can easily take these speakers out if I wanted by just unplugging this rather than cutting the wires. You don't have to do that, but I did. Second time, didn't pull the door hinge through again. Gotta take it all off again. Alright guys, so just got the last speaker in. This one took a while. It didn't work after plugging everything in and screwing it all together. I even had the door frame back on. It didn't work. There wasn't any sound coming out of it, so had to go back through it. And after using one of these guys, I realized there wasn't any power going to it. The speaker wire was broken somewhere, so I traced it all the way up here, checked it right here, and there was power here. So I looked farther up here, I took this back panel off, checked this plug, there was power on this plug, and then I started messing with this right in here, and as I was wiggling it, sound came out of the speaker, so I knew I had the short in here. So took all the tape off of this right here, and sure enough one of the wires was split on the inside. So I fixed that up, taped it all back up together the best I could, plugged that back together, and it sounds great now. Other than that, everything went pretty smoothly.